Hey everyone, welcome back and welcome to the St. Canard Files, a Darkwing Duck podcast. I'm your host, Will Santana, and
Stan Lund back again.
hey, how's it going, Stan?
Not too bad. How you been, Will?
I've
Long
been,
time no talk.
yeah, man, I feel like I'm rusty with this, man, so I'm gonna still let you take the lead on this, man.
That's okay. I'm kind of rusty myself. It's been quite a while since the last episode dropped.
Okay, so anything new with you? You got anything new to the collection? Doesn't have to be Darkwing based.
Oh, I always have new things for the collection, but Darkwing specific, I did get Volume 5 of the Disney Afternoon Adventures with that French Darkwing comic, first time being in English, and I really like it. I'm not saying any more because we got something planned down the line.
Okay, all right, and then I don't know with me collection wise, Dark Queen. I don't think I have anything new. The only thing I did get kind of recently was a long sleeve T-shirt. It was a yellow one.
I haven't
Yeah,
got that yet.
yeah, I got that T-shirt. I did get that Disney pin from what's the name of that company? Pink.
Pink
Uh,
Lamont.
yeah, I did get that that Darkwing Disney pin from them. Um, Really quick, a little bit off of Darkwing, but let's stay in that Disney afternoon stand. Have you had a chance to read any of the DuckTales yet?
Yeah, I've read the first two issues and I really enjoy them. They seem to have the heart of the original DuckTales series. It seems to be a blend of the 87 series and the Carl Barks comics. At least to me, that's what it seems.
Okay, but no 2017 feel
Not
to
that
it?
I've seen yet. No.
Okay, okay. I haven't read it yet. I do have the first two issues. I think issue one, I only bought like two or three of the covers, and then issue two, I actually grabbed more for some reason. I think because Magica was on there.
Yeah, I really like the cover for issue two. It reminds me a lot of the NES game.
Okay, and then also for issue two, I did get one with Launchpad by himself.
Yeah, I
Did you?
believe that's the character study cover.
Yeah, I did get that one.
Yeah, though
Um,
he hasn't appeared in the comics yet.
okay, I know. I'm still. I think I'm caught up with Gargoyles, the Quest one, and then like there was a Winter Special one.
Yep,
Okay, yeah, so I'm caught up there. I think I gave up on Thundercats, man. I read like two or three issues of that. I was like, yeah, this ain't for me, man.
I've heard that comic series is complete garbage.
Yeah. I did. I'm collecting Lilo and Stitch, but that's not for me. But
Yep.
I do have it complete so far. Was there another one I was working on for comic books? Oh, the Scar one, but I haven't even read those yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I got like the first three issues. I think they're up to issue 5 right now, but I got the first three, but I haven't even opened it yet. All right. So yeah, anything going on in the Ghostbusters or Back to the Future World community for you?
There's a Ghostbusters animated series in the works with Netflix, but
Hmm.
they haven't shown any trailers for it yet. They also had that awesome HasLab of the Ecto 1 and the Ecto 1A that I sorely wish I could have taken part in, but uh, didn't have a spare $400 lying around, unfortunately.
Big money staying.
So you always claim.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to think of what else has been happening. Oh, what about the Dynamite Kickstarter? Has there been any updates on that when that's coming out?
Not really. I mean, we've gotten emails saying that they've started to print them, as well as confirming where our addresses are and getting the shipping money from us.
Yeah, I remember I did have to like log in and pay a shipping cost. It was I think mine was like $8 or something.
Yeah, mine was 5 since I only got the one trade. I didn't go crazy with it again because I couldn't really afford to. Like somewhere
Mhm.
down the line, I'll probably I'll probably go after the other main versions.
I did get three of the hardcover ones. One of them I'm regretting really badly, and I think you already know which one that is.
You mean the Dynamite Darkwing all 10 issues?
Yeah, I think I don't know why I pulled the trigger on that one. I really wanted the Naked Duck and Justice Ducks one, and then I wanted the one with the Disney Afternoons all in one.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
only one I got was the Disney Afternoon one because, especially since you've seen, I've been buying the like all versions of the other Dynamite
Hmm.
trades, so I didn't really see much point in having another version that was going to cost even more. Although having all of Darkwing in one is a neat idea.
It's a
I
neat idea, but I don't know if I will ever read it again. That's the only issue I'm having with it. That's why I regret it.
well, I wouldn't read it
All
again.
right, so Stan, man, what are we reviewing today? What are we getting into today, man?
We're jumping into issue 3 of Justice Ducks.
All right, issue 3. Do we have the same writers, same illustrators?
Yep. Still written by Roger Langridge and still drawn by Carlo Loro.
All right, and this one has a title.
Uh, all the Justice Ducks ones do.
Okay, the Darkwings didn't, correct?
No, the Darkwings didn't, but
What about
Justice
Negaducks?
and Negaduck did. I
Okay, so
guess they, I guess they learned their lesson with all of our griping about no titles for Darkwing.
all right, so Stan, before we oh man, let me put my phone on silent over here. Before we started today, I did message you and I could not find the villain's name when I read this the other day.
Yeah, he doesn't have a name. He's just referred to as the Ringmaster.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and clear that up. So when we refer to the ringmaster, we are referring to our villain for this episode, correct?
Yeah,
All right. So Stan, this is Justice Ducks number 3. It's called The Smallest Show on Earth. Take
yeah.
us off, man. Get us started.
Well, we start with an unexpected familiar face.
Mm-hmm. And who's
Yep,
that?
that is Chip Dipson from the Joe Books comics.
Yep.
Yep, and he's reporting on the top stories. You know, a film star denying rumors of a relationship with a garbage collector. I don't know if the two characters, Froofy LaQuack or Angus McFilth, are characters from some other duck medium.
I think it was just a joke.
Probably,
Yeah.
a thing about spontaneous dancing being addictive, which is actually based on something that really happened.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest thing, the St. Canard's sculpture, the Southern Duck, has vanished. And they go to another familiar face who's on the scene, that being Durfson, again from the Joe Books one. It's kind of weird that they pulled them from the Joe Books to use in this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we find out they're sponsored by the chocolate teapots.
Yeah.
All right. So what happens next, Stan?
Well, then we cut to the Audubon Bay Bridge, and the Justice Ducks are holding a meeting.
Yeah, but it seemed like they were like kind of watching TV during their meeting, correct? So were they watching the news?
Yeah, it seems to be watching the news, and there's an editorial note in the corner mentioning that Launchpad is pumpkin headed for this issue.
Yeah, they should have actually pumpkin headed him though.
Yeah, apparently he's got the week off from superheroing so he can focus on washing, waxing, and buffing
do you
Darkwing's various superhero vehicles.
do you think that's just an excuse that maybe they forgot to write him in, or they forgot to draw him in? What do you think, or do you think that was the intent?
I have no idea. With them, with how bad these comics are at times, it's really hard to know.
All right, and we find out it's somebody's birthday.
Yep, Stegma,
Mm-hmm.
and
And
he wants to go to the circus.
yeah, he wants to go somewhere fun. Um, Darkwing thinks it's a great idea.
Yeah, so he can have his headquarters back, but Goslin ropes him into going to it with her.
Yep. And so I think it's kind of cool for the Justice Duck to actually hang out, not just fight crime together. I personally thought that was kind of cool idea of whoever wrote this in, that have them hanging out.
Yeah,
All right.
but they do get a few other suggestions of places to go, like a laser sport hyperdome or the new Frantic and Ferocious 23 movie, which has to be a reference to Fast and Furious.
All right. So we got a little foreshadowing here, though. But what is the main thing Stegma wants to see?
The clowns is the thing most people don't want to see.
I know, right? All right. Then we finally get to see our villain, but we don't know he's the villain yet.
Yeah, although with his face in the opening scene, it should have been obvious
Yeah.
since he just looks evil.
hmm
But yeah, he calls this the Cirque de Petits Choses, which is
Certain.
probably French.
Yeah. Is it petite?
I think so.
Yeah. I can't read
I
that.
don't speak French, so I
All right, and then we get some comments from the Justice Ducks, but of course Stegmutt, he can't wait for the clowns. He loves clowns.
yeah, though Darkwing definitely is bored. Pipe down. It'll be streaming somewhere like everything else.
I actually like the illustration for that page though.
Yeah.
All right, and then on to the next page, we get the Ringmaster, and he starts introducing some of the acts, and we get to see what they're capable of doing.
Yep. The incredible spinning Jennies, Twisty Jim, who I feel bears a bit of a resemblance to Darkwing. It might be a tongue-in-cheek reference to Jim Cummings.
Could be. And then we
Yeah.
got the Flip family.
Yep. Three generations. And Calamity Amity, definitely a play on Calamity Jane.
hmm But what is Stegman missing?
The clowns.
Yep,
They
still no
don't
clowns. Let
there. Though, did you notice who's watching in that panel?
me see. Oh, okay. Pirate Steve.
Yeah,
I did not notice that
yep.
until you
He
just
made
said
it
that.
into this issue.
All right.
Looks like he's having a grand time.
You got the fist pump.
Yeah,
All right, and now we finally get the ringmaster. He's finally got his own act now, correct? And he needs a volunteer.
yep. And Goslin happily volunteers for it.
Yeah, Darkwing doesn't think nothing of it, but Morgana is kind of a little suspicious of what's happening.
Yeah,
She's like saying, asking Gosling, "Are you sure?" And so we finally get Gosling down there. She goes into the cabinet, and
yep,
the ringmaster is showing everybody that it's not a trick. There's no way out. And he closes the door on her, and he says the magic words.
yep. Shrimpus obfusus.
Yep.
I
The Earth.
probably butchered that.
Yeah. He opens it back up and says the Earth Child has disappeared completely.
But then he amends that, doesn't he?
Yep.
Child. The child has disappeared completely.
Mm-hmm.
And
And it,
everyone's impressed, except Darkwing, who's still nonplussed.
yeah, Morgana's kind of like freaking out though.
Yeah. Also, is it just me, or does the character model next to Stegmutt look suspiciously like someone we've seen before?
Definitely does.
Now, to me, it looks a lot like the DuckTales 2017 iteration of Gander D.
Oh, okay.
You
But
know,
like
it's
a
not,
younger version? She
yeah,
looks a little
it's not,
younger though.
well, not, no, you're thinking of Goldie. Gander D was the one that Fenton had a crush on that worked
Mm-hmm.
for Beats.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. So the show is now over.
Yeah, but
Stegmud is
something's missing.
Yeah, and Stegman's sad. He's still no clown, not a single one.
Yep.
Uh Morgana's like, we can't leave Gosling, but Darkwing feels like, this is part of the show. There's a trick, or she went through a trap door or something. She's hiding somewhere around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
he's
he
about to go
goes
looking
looking
for her.
for her.
Yep.
A big sign saying meeting point wouldn't go amiss.
Where could she be? So as time passes by, Morgana is still worried. She's like, they're not back yet. I knew there was something fishy about all this. And I love what Neptunia says right there because she said there's something fishy
Language.
about all this.
Yeah, that was
Like,
a good joke.
yeah, like she said some kind of profanity or something. And Stegmutt, the clowns again. He's like, he bet wherever they are, that's where the clowns went.
Yeah. So they start their search for Gosalyn and they come across a suspicious looking circus tent that Neptunia says, if that's a circus tent, I'm a camel.
Yep. because that definitely doesn't look like a circus. It looks too high tech.
Yep.
Yep, and they peek in there, and what happens?
The ringmaster spots them and zaps them.
Yep, and then we get Honey I Shrunk the Kids.
Yep. Or in this case, Honey, I Shrunk the Justice Ducks.
Yeah, Honey I Shrunk the Justice Dogs. Yep, and Stegman says, "I think we're in trouble."
Yep.
Yep, and then
Well,
we kind of get like a transition. We get back to Darkwing for his search for Gosling.
yep. And he's pondering, to get dangerous or not to get dangerous. Oh, please. And we get a partial I am the terror where he starts with, I am the terror that flaps in the night. I am the.
You know
Okay.
what?
It just
I'm
got really weird.
I'm glad you just said that, Stan, because I was going to ask you. There was no terror that flaps in the night in this, but now I just remembered there was that little part right there. I'm glad you said that because I completely forgot it as I was reading. Like, man, when I got to the end, I like there was no terror that flaps in the night.
So what does he see in there?
You can see all the artifacts and stuff, all the art stuff that's stolen, but they're like in little jars.
Yep. Now it's hard to make out what most of them are. You can see the Southern Duck and what
Hmm.
appears to be the Mona Lisa.
Yeah, you can see like a painting on the floor. Like
That's
it's
not the Mona Lisa one. The Mona Lisa
no,
on the shelf.
yeah. All right, and then Darkwing gets someone comes from gets him from behind.
Yep.
I don't know what that is. They put over his face though, or his beak.
I think it's like a gag.
Okay. All right, and then we get back to the Justice Ducks, right, Stan?
Yep.
And what's going on?
Well, they're trying to not get zapped again by the ringmaster. And I don't know if you caught the cameo here. I say cameo, it's more of a reference, but that water bottle, its label is from the
Uh,
Flourishing Organic Good Company. It's that, it's the Dr. No Good one.
okay, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. Like, you really have to look, scrutinize it intently to make it out. But I I do like the callback. It shows
Hmm.
that they at least were trying to keep sort of a continuity here, even if it's continuity to bad stuff.
Yeah. And then Netunia finds like a popcorn bag, and they decide to go hide in there.
Yeah, but they're not the only resident in there, are they?
No, who's in there with them, Stan?
Goslin.
Yeah. Um. So now on the next page, we see the ringmaster still looking for them. He's like kind of confused.
Yeah,
Um, he's still trying to find them, and then they're still in the popcorn bag.
that they are until they hear Darkwing yelling in trouble.
You said, "Oh, Darkwing's yelling in trouble."
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. Because Gosling said that that's Dad. He's in trouble. That's true.
yeah.
Yep. And then Magica, not
Who?
Magica, Morgana. What does she do?
She uses a spell, which is nice because we don't see her do that very often in here.
I kept thinking like what she's gonna do is spell to grow them back. But
Yeah,
that
not quite like that, but
no.
her spell goes, I can transform this popcorn box with my magical powers. Popcorn carton in the weeds, change to something built for speed.
Yeah, it turns into like a little car, but it has no gas or anything. It had no engine.
It,
Yeah.
it's not really a car, it's more like a roller skate.
Yeah, it is like a roller skate. Okay. And then Stegmud has to do it kind of like Flintstone style, but with his hand. And what does Gizmo Duck do?
He uses a rocket on his head to give him propulsion.
All right. And they tell him to eat dirt, Tower Head, because he does have a
Yeah,
big head.
that he does.
Yeah. And we can see Darkwing again. He's asking for help, a
Yep.
little help. I don't know. I thought that was like a little joke when he said, "Guys,
Yeah.
guys, little help."
Even though he doesn't know they're shrunk yet.
Yeah. And then the ringmaster does a whistle, and he tells everybody to get him. And this is where we kind of finally see who they kind of really are.
Yep. More aliens.
Yeah, more aliens. All right, Stan, what's going
Including
on?
including one that looks like he's a Bushroot ripoff.
Yeah, that's the twisty one, right?
Yep. Uh, Contortionist Jim.
All right. So what's going on,
Of
Stan?
course, of course, Darkwing is in his grip and he's like, hurry up. I'm absolutely certain I could take him alone with a little time, but I don't have any.
Mm-hmm. And then we can see
So,
the justice that's coming.
yep. And they use their speed momentum to basically knock both Darkwing and the and Contortionist Jim over.
Yep.
Popping horrors, this is going to hurt, which is definitely a non-Darkwing thing to be said.
Yep. Very. And then a few minutes later, we see they're all tied up. All the villains are tied up, except for the ringmaster.
Right. Who
Mm-hmm.
has gotten away for the moment.
Yeah. And Darkwing says this is the second weirdest thing he's seen all night. Take a look inside that crazy caravan with all the signs.
Yeah. Which has all the stolen artwork.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Neptunia notes that some of these aren't like anybody on Earth. They be from other worlds.
Yeah. So this is even more confirmation that we got aliens again.
Yeah. You saw those performers just now. If they're from Earth, I'm Froofy LaQuack.
Yeah. And then they can't realize they can't figure out what to do with everything, right? So Morgana says, "I got an idea."
Yep.
All
So
right.
we cut back to the ringmaster who is saying they're close, those clowns, but I'm too smart for them. Now, of course, at current time, we think that he's probably just referring to the justice nuts.
Mm-hmm.
But he gets some odd visitors, doesn't he?
Yep. And it's Morgana. She uses like a what does she use? Like an illusion or something, correct?
Yep, to make it appear that all of the art they swindled were actually living creatures.
Yeah. And then we see Stegma running out with the ray, the shrinking ray. They don't show us them actually using it because in the next frame they're already big because it says soon enough everyone's back to normal.
Yeah,
Yep, and the ringmaster's all tied up, and then we get his motives. What was his motive, Stan?
the billionaires love art. There's a lot of them in space, and he used the shrinking ray to steal art to sell to the billionaires.
Correct. And then he said, I created a space circle, recruited some criminals with unique abilities to make my job easier. They cost me a pretty credit, but I was about to make more money than all of them put together. All right. And then we get Stegma. So now we get the foreshadowing. Go ahead and take it away, Stan.
Yeah, so Stegma is very bored with this, so he goes to have a look around. I love how in the back, they're still talking. It's like blah, 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 secret weapon, blah, blah. But Stegma discovers a switch that is almost reminiscent of the Ghostbusters logo, but not quite. But
Mm-hmm.
it's a no clown logo. No
Yep.
clowns? He's got a switch that turns off the clowns? That's the worst idea I ever heard. So Stegma obviously turns it off. And what happened?
We get all these like police type clowns from outer space. The
Yep.
They were called what, the Motley Squad.
Yep.
Yep, and Stegma goes clowns, hooray, because he finally sees his clowns.
Yeah. So they come down and basically perform all around, and like they're not even like they're just squirting water, doing clown stuff basically.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. And then Morgana offers Stegma some popcorn. He's all excited, hands pumped up and fist balled up. And he's like, look at us. We got our with our ringside seats. He's so happy for his clowns.
Yeah. So that transitions to the main clown cop saying, thanks to whoever had the brains to switch off the shielding device. We've had a tracer on this guy for months, but whenever we get close enough, he scrambles the signal, and Segmont replies that with, hey, I had a brains. How about that?
Mm-hmm. And then one of the other clowns gets the ray, and they bring the duck statue thing back. Well, I already forgot the name of the statue.
The Southern Duck.
Yeah, the southern duck. Yep, and it's back to its size, but there's one little problem, right?
Well, we'll get to that problem in a bit. First, we got Darkwing glory boating again, and
Oh,
the Southern Duck is restored to its former glory. Darkwing Duck solves another case. Darkwing Duck had to be rescued by us.
mhm.
Details, details.
Yeah. And then that's when Netunia realized the sculpture's on the wrong hill.
Yep.
And she's like, oh, well. All right, Stan, go ahead and take us away to we're on the final stretch.
So Morgana's apologizing to Stegma because she thinks that this was an awful birthday, and Stegma loved it. He's like, the speed, the adventure, oh my golly, the clowns. This has to be the most fun I've ever had. I want to do the whole thing again next year, exactly the same. You gave me the bestest birthday Stegma could hope for.
Yeah, so Stegma got his clowns. He had the best day. He squeezes them really hard. Um, and then we get to the back to the news.
Yep, back to Chip Dipson. There were some strong words spoken today in the Say the Strongest Word competition. The winner's word was elephant. Investigations continue. And the elephant is Horton from Horton Hears a Who.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the Southern Duck has been found on the opposite side of town from the spot where it originally vanished. I know, wild, right?
Yep. But Zan Allison has the solution for that. They're just going to change the name and it'll henceforth be known as the Northern Duck.
Yeah, and then the city has to do issue with new maps, tourist guides, signposts, reroute all the bus tours, update the entire internet, and now the weather. All right.
Build new public transport routes, compensate the southern boroughs for loss of income,
Yeah.
lay down new walkways, open a cafeteria.
Yep. And then Darkwing tells her to turn off that TV. He's trying to concentrate because he got his own idea where to put where the Southern Duck statue was.
Yep, because apparently the city wants a new work of art to go where the Southern Duck was, and Darkwing has tried to make his own life-size prototype of Darkwing Duck in one of the most hideous fashions imaginable. Like, it looks like some artist style I've seen before, but I can't remember who they are.
Mm.
But it's hideous.
Yeah, Dark Gosling was kind of said hints at it. She said, honestly, if I came across that in the middle of the night, I'd be terrified.
To which Drake replies, "Smart kid." And
Yeah.
that is where we end.
All right, so that's Justice Ducks number 3. Stan, go ahead. I'm gonna let you start us off. How many gas gun canisters would you give this one?
I would give it about a 2. It's not a very strong issue. It has some pretty good moments and callbacks, but altogether the story is kind of bleh.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this though, Stan. We barely mentioned Gizmo Duck in this one. He does have some lines. We didn't mention any of his lines. He's just not a relevant character in this issue. Do you think that's good sometimes when they get away from Gizmo Duck?
Sometimes, although he did have some lines.
Yeah, yeah, because that's what I was saying. Like he did have some lines. We just didn't go over his line because he was not a relevant character in this one. I think
Like,
I think it was more Morgana and Stegma, more Stegma. You know.
oh yeah, Morgana, Stegma, Goslin, and Darkwing were definitely the focus.
Mm-hmm. Netunia had a line or two here there. But I think it's good sometimes when they get away from Gizmo Duck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I do think it's good. I would give it a 2 as well. I think it starts off a little slow, but they're doing the foreshadowing and all that, so I get it. I just think they took too long on the foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the news and then the whole meeting, and then Stegma finally mentioning how he loves clowns and the circus. I think they could have gotten to it a little quicker.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think you're right.
All right, and then how do you feel about the? Let's get into our villain. How many gas gun canister will you give our villain, the Ringmaster?
Half a canister.
Damn it! I was gonna give it the same score.
I hated the villains in this.
Yeah,
They so uninspiring and forgettable. And honestly, at this point, I am so sick of aliens.
I'm with you on that, Stan. I'm getting tired of this whole alien. I feel like they have other villains. They could do team ups. You know, it doesn't always have to be Negaduck again and the Justice Duck, or the not the Justice Ducks. Negaduck and the Fearsome Five. You know, they could do like a Camille Chameleon with Splatter Phoenix, or Bugmaster with I don't know. Give me a villain really quick.
Uh, Jambalaya Jake.
There you go. Just random, yeah.
Or Megavolt and Quackerjack.
Yeah, Megavolt, Quackerjack, or Liquidator, Megavolt. They can do something,
I think Liquidator would pair better with Bushroot, since
Yeah.
water and electricity don't normally mix too well.
But you get what I'm trying to say, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be aliens every time. They really, really could spice it up a bit. Plus, the one thing all of these Darkwing comics have really been lacking, in my opinion, have been the classic villains we know and love.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you. And that's the problem I'm having. They should have brought some of the other ones like in team, because I get when you have the Justice Ducks involved, you can't just have one of the regular villains that Darkwing beat by himself. So I get that. And I think that's why they need to do team ups or mashups or something,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm just not really feeling these first 3 issues so far. Is it better than the Darkwings? Yes.
Yeah. But
they are better than Darkwing.
Much.
Not by much. I agree with you on that.
Yeah. Like, so far, the best of the Dynamite has been, and at least until this new Darkwing series comes out, will continue to be the Negaduck series.
Okay. I have not even finished reading the Negaducks. I think I'm like on issue 5 or 6 over there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, Stan, man, anything else you want to say about this issue?
No. Just that I pray we're going to get away from aliens at some point.
All right. You got any shout outs or anything you want to do?
I think I'll just shout out our entire Darkwing Double O Duck community.
All right. For those who like going to conventions and stuff, I got a lot of cons coming up. I will be in Sac Anime coming up right after New Year's. I will be in San Angelo, Texas, January 10th through the 12th. I will be there with Young Melee, the voice of CJ from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and 3 of the Amazing Digital Circus cast. So if you're into Michael Kovac, Amanda Hufford, and Ashley Nichols, they will be there as well. And then I will be out of the country for a couple of weeks. But when I come back, I will be in Fresno for Anime Gaming Con. And then like a week or 2 after that, I will be... Where will I be? Oh, I will be in Houston for Animeverse Fest. And I will be there also with Young Melee. All right. So for all you con goers, I will be all over the place. I got a lot of cons coming up this year, man. Start the year off.
You do.
Yep. All right. So, Stan, any last thing, man? Anything you want to say before we take off? Anything you want to plug your YouTubes or anything?
I don't think so.
All right. All right, guys. So that's going to wrap up Justice Ducks number 3. And me and Stan will try to get Justice Ducks number 4 pumped out pretty soon before I head out of the country and stuff. All right.
That we will.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And remember, stay dangerous.
Stay dangerous. I gotta go find a no alien switch and flip that.
All right. Please do that. All right. Thanks, everyone. Good night.